And we are live on this Thursday night. Are you men ready to
Let's
sip some
go.
tea?
Let's sip it.
All right. Well, welcome to Tangy of Life. This is where we talk about any and everything. I am your host, Veronica, with you tonight. I have my co-host, Brother Fatine, WBLS radio station, New York, with me tonight.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Co-host Victor will be joining us in just a little bit. And we have a very special guest back with us, making his fourth appearance on Tangy T. I believe that's correct. Sheriff
Yep.
James Hudson. Welcome, welcome back to the Tea, sir.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. So glad to have you back. And um, everyone out there, thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, Mike Mills, we have the police with us tonight, so be on your best behavior. All of you out there, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Please share this video. Hi, Stevenson. You just joining us, Tangy Tea of Life. This is where we talk about everything. And tonight we have Sheriff Mr. James Hudson with us tonight from the Darlington County Sheriff Department. Later on, we will get back, we will get into an email letter, but right now we want to see what's been going on with Mr. Hudson since taking office. His first year in office as a Sheriff of Darlington County. Please tell us, sir, how does it feel?
It feels good. It feels good. A dream came true, and I'm glad to be the sheriff of Darlington County. Um, I think we're going to do good things in the near future, and we had a very first interesting year.
Mm. All right. Well, let's jump into that first year. What and it seems so weird because you know how on Facebook it'll show you like memories, and yesterday was a year since you and Chief of Darlington was on the show. That's a year ago, which is amazing that time is flying by so quickly. But yes, a year as a Sheriff of Darlington. What accomplishments you've seen that you have made within the first year of being sheriff?
Well, the first year it was just getting into office, doing an assessment to see what we had on hand. Um, we always talk about the things that are wrong, but I personally I wanted to see some of the things that were being done that was acceptable for the organization, and I felt like would be acceptable for the people of Darlington County. So we did the assessment, and we started changing some things, and some things we left the same. And due to some things that happened out of our control, we had to back up and point. We had to change some things. I read off the top of my head one of the things that we did, or two of the things that we did. We created a homicide team, 4-person team, and that worked out tremendously for us. The second thing was we created a community liaison person. That's a female in that position, and that has worked out for us as well, because we needed a way to get into the community and, and, and catch a hold to it. And that person's doing a great job. Her name is Joyce Everett. She's a retired officer from the sheriff office, and now she's back, and she's doing a great job. So those are two things right off the top of my head that we've done that I think has made a big impact on the sheriff office and the way we do business for the people of Darlington County.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I went to I went to one of the events that Joyce and a few others put together. It was a self-defense class for women, which was awesome. That was my first time attending an event like that, and I had a wonderful time. Some of your officers came out and demonstrated, how to act when you're, a victim of violence or whatever. Do you think they're going to have another one pretty soon with that? Because a lot of people didn't know about it, but a lot of people did, and a lot of people was like, well, when are they going to have the next one?
Yes, we've since then, since then. We did one Tuesday night in Lamar. Tuesday night, yeah. This past Tuesday night in Lamar. And I think they have another one planned soon as well. I just don't know the location right now.
Okay, that's great. Now, speaking of officers, now rumors have it that there's a shortage, short staff at Darlington, at the Sheriff Department. Do you think that have anything to do with, by police officers having a bad rap these days and you're not getting a lot of people that want to join the force now? Or is it something else related to that, this short staff at the department?
Well, for the past 6 weeks, I've been doing speaking engagements around the county. And it's like I tell them, I think there's a number of things that has created the shortage. Number one is the environment of the profession that we work in. It's very demanding.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of young people now does not want to enter a profession where they can make a mistake and get in trouble for it. And I completely understand that. Another one that is money. It's definitely a money issue,
Mm-hmm.
but money is the problem. So we've been trying to figure out how do we fix the problem. So we started doing research. We started putting together pay studies and doing all that stuff. And there's a lot of agencies around the PD area and around the state of South Carolina that are offering bonus sign-on bonuses. Some agencies are offering what they call a step program. If they hire you uncertified, but you have an associate degree, you get paid for that. If you have a bachelor's degree, you get paid for that. If you have a master's degree, you get paid for that, and they pay you for your years of experience. Some of the agencies in the upper state are doing those type things. They have more capital than we have to deal with. And there's some agencies right here in our neighboring counties that are doing that. Unfortunately, we are not at this time, but we are in the beginning stages of our budget year. So we're trying to figure out how can we make things better here at Darlington County Sheriff Office and at the detention center. Now, the detention center did get a $5,000 raise. That was another thing that we did do that I'm proud of coming in office. So they're now making what every other jail person is making in the PD area. But unfortunately, it's not enough because it's still hard to retain them.
Mm-hmm.
Law enforcement side, on the Class 1 officer side, we are still hiring people. We've had 21 officers to leave since we've been in office. I think 5 of those officers are retired out. They said that enough was enough. Some of them went for better paying jobs, and some of them went to other agencies. But that's just the nature of the beast. But Hartsville was chief of police. I lost about 20 the first year I was there, for various reasons. And I understand that we're living in different times, and people have their own reasons for wanting to do things. And it's like joining any other fraternity. I'm gonna join to see what it's about, and then once I figure out what it's about, if I don't like it, then I'll opt out. So money is an issue. The environment. It's just the amount of liabilities and obligation and responsibility that a police officer has. And unfortunately, a lot of people just don't want that.
Why do you think it is that police officers don't get paid well? Why is that when they are putting their life on the line every single day? They're put on that uniform.
I was asked that question today in a presentation, and we don't know. I think it's a priority thing where if you work for the public sector, you don't make as much money as the private sector. Law enforcement and police officers and school teachers and DSS workers. I found in my career that those of us who work in the public sector don't make the money that we should be making, but we have more responsibility than those in it.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting point. And I see that across the country, and you see in the big cities where they have police officers, and in the city you'll see they make X amount of dollars, and then you go to the suburbs and you see the officers in the suburbs that don't have to even deal with as much crime make more money at the end of the day. And I wonder if that's a economic situation also dealing with the county. But Sheriff Hudson, a lot of people deal with policing, law enforcement, and one of the things that I definitely want to get into is some of the things that we don't talk about with law enforcement officers. But before we get there, I was reading an article when you won the election, and one of the things that they did an assessment in Darlington, and they were talking about in the past 5 years there were like 41 murders, and 28 of them were reported by the sheriff's department. And you were quoted in the article saying that something needs to be done. Now, that was in a year's time. And like you said, you got a chance to get your feet wet, a year of assessment, putting things in place, getting, things in order. How have things been when it comes down to the crime in the area? And because, a lot of concerned citizens and folks are concerned about crime and homicides and what's going on. How is that? And what did you find out? What might be kind of driving this up in a sense of crime numbers?
Well, I was an investigator for Darlington County Sheriff Office for 4 years, and I worked my share of homicides. In doing that, the violators were different than they are now. You could go and knock on a door or talk to people and get information and get a warrant, or get probable cause and get a warrant and seek the persons that have committed a crime. And you didn't have to chase them and run them down. And I mean, most of these guys you knew, but now we're dealing with a different generation that it doesn't seem to be any street code on what they're doing out here now. I was working it, there was some home invasion stuff going on. People got killed at clubs, stuff like that. But you rarely saw somebody riding by in the middle of the day shooting in somebody's car, or in the middle of the night shooting in somebody's house, not knowing who's in there. So we're dealing with a different mentality of people. And I think that we as a community have to get on board and have to get involved and tackle this together. And we had 17 cases in relation to homicides in 2021. With implementing the homicide team, we solved 82 of those, plus 2 cold cases from previous. And now we only have 1 open homicide that's turned, but we still have 4 cold cases. So I think we are above the curve on that. We're at 82%. The national average is 54%. So I think we're above on what we're doing. We're solving it. We're solving crimes. We're tackling crimes as they happen. We're being proactive with the manpower that we have. Last year we had SLED to come in. We had probation to come in. We had DNR to come in. We put together a multi-jurisdiction task force then, and we went out and we saturated problem areas, and it worked out great. And I think that's when we start to see the decline. This time last year, we already had 6 homicides. We only had 1.
That's good. I want to commend you on that.
Yeah, I think as long as we continue to get the community involved and continue to be proactive, continue to study and do our homework, I think you'll see things. I think you'll see those type things drop, even with the burglaries and larcenies. You know, we're doing well on those as well. So we're doing good things. A lot of the public don't notice it, what goes on behind the scenes, or what does it take to put these things together and get out there and make these efforts in these communities, because all these guys have to be paid. Doesn't matter what agency you work for, they have to be paid, and they take time away from their families. But the key is their families live in the community as well, and all of us want everybody to be safe. So there's a problem that we're working on in regards to the crime, especially the homicides. If it was just Darlington County last year, I would say we definitely got a serious issue, which we do, but it was nationwide.
Yes.
We went to SLED and we supported Chief Keel when he did his press release on the crime in South Carolina. He's the chief law enforcement person in South Carolina. He's over SLED. So his report reflected that it's nationwide. And that's what we want people to understand. Last year, it was nationwide. It wasn't just Darlington County. It wasn't just Florence County. It wasn't just Dillon County. It wasn't just Marlborough County. It was nationwide. But everybody is working very hard to decrease crime of any kind. And I think as long as we stay with that, getting people involved and getting support from you guys, I think that the men and women who continue to wear the badge and leave their families at night and in the morning, like you said earlier, put their lives on the line, I think we'll make strides. But we gotta have help from those communities, and I think we're getting that. I think churches are now getting involved. Businesses are getting involved. There's a prayer walk this Saturday. We're meeting at the courthouse at 9 o'clock. This will be our 4th prayer walk around the county. Our next prayer walk will be in the city in Hartsville. So we're doing things to help deter crime. And as I always say, and as I was taught when I first joined this profession, you got to do more than just lock people up.
That's right.
That don't solve crimes. That puts a Band-Aid on it.
That's
you got to get involved to see that there has to be a change, and the change comes from within. And when you got a made up mind and you determine, all kind of things can happen, especially when you put God first. And that's the first thing we have to do, is make sure we understand who's doing the driving. A lot of times they drive, but they don't want to take you where you need to be.
Right. I just want to piggyback off that something you said, 2 things you said in there. You mentioned community, and you mentioned that it seems like there's a slight different element that you're dealing with now with some of the people that you are having issues with. You understand? So my question is, as you just talked about the prayer walk, a lot of times we're preaching to the choir. We're preaching to the folks that are doing right, and we're trying to reach those folks that are not doing right. How do we reach those folks? And what are the kind of new tactics that you can put in place? It's easy to say, well, we can get the sheriff and the deputies to go out there and umpire a baseball game or be at a basketball game, and not patrolling, but being referees or coaches on our spare time. But what are some of the creative ideas that you may be looking at in the sense of reaching the people? And then the second one is, you mentioned about the community. You can't do it by yourself. You need all of us in. You need the community. Let the community know tonight, what do you need from them in a sense of assisting to make this work for all of us?
Well, the first part of that question is, we have to go in the communities where the problems are. But in doing that, you got to identify what's going on. You got to identify a person that may be causing some of the problem. And then once you identify what's going on and identify the source, then you can try to find a solution. And that solution should come from more than just law enforcement. It should come from mainly the people in the community, because they see a whole lot more than what we see. A lot of times when we get called, the incident has happened.
That's correct.
It's over. So now it's like we got to recreate everything to find out what took place. because you can have 50 people standing around and ain't nobody gonna tell you what happened. Everybody gonna get, and if they do, it's gonna be a different account of what they saw.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that we gotta work on. Identifying the problem, identifying where the problem's coming from, and then get with the communities and try to find a solution as to what has happened or is happening in your community. And the second question again was what?
What do you need? What do you need from the community? Let the folks out there that is watching this tonight, let them know what do you need from them to so that we all can be in this, not just law enforcement just showing up, but what can we all do? Can we partner together on doing things in the community, not being proactive instead of being reactive?
Well, I think that's going to be part of the answer to the first question, identifying what's going on. Standing with law enforcement is very important. We need to know that we got the community behind us, and we'll be with the community. So if the community is fed up and tired, they need to know that not just the Darlington County Sheriff Office, but law enforcement in general will be with them, because we want to make sure that people are safe at night, during the day, their properties won't get stolen while they're going to work or out to shop, that they're, everything's going to be all right. But we got to have eyes and ears in the community where law enforcement sometimes just can't get to. There's 75 sworn officers in Darlington County, class 1, 75. And we have read at 600, a little over 600 miles to cover. And, just last year alone, calls for service, there was 25,882 calls for service just last year alone. So, I'm not a mathematician, but when you look at that and say, well, man, ain't but 6 deputies working per shift. And then you got investigators that's out trying to work cases to solve crime, to see who has stole somebody's property or who has committed whatever type of crime. And then we have magistrate court going on sometime. We have general session going on. We have probate court going on. We have summary court going on. And we have to man all those courts. Then we have mental transports we have to do. And sometimes we might do 2 or 3 mental transports per day. And then we have funerals that we have to escort. So when you look at just during the day, let's say you start at 8 o'clock in the morning, the first thing you got to do is make sure you got court covered. I left out one thing. You got to make sure you got court covered. You got to make sure we have 9 schools that we're responsible for. We have to have an SRO. We got to make sure all those schools are covered. Then we got to make sure that if any funerals come in, we got to catch those as well.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make sure that any walk-ups come into the office or people call and say they want somebody to come in their house. We got to cover all that as well. Accidents. And I'm part of that. I just don't sit in the office all day. I get out and I work, because that's what Darlington County citizens elected me to do. So there's a lot that we have to do. But the thing of it is, at 5 o'clock, most of the administrative staff goes home, except for a few, because we still have a staff officer that's on call every week. But that staff officer has to come out when something goes wrong. But when that staff officer comes out, he calls the rest of us, and then we come out. But if there's a transport, then we got to get the transportation person to come out, and then they have to go and transport someone. So it's a lot that goes on. And we have the jail that we have to manage. We have a jail administrator. His name is Wardell Coe, and we're just trying to manage that the best way we can. We got the money up to a decent rate now, and we're hiring people, but they won't stay. Once they come out of FTO and have to go in the back to man a pod, they figure out, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So it's a revolving door. So if the community would just pray for us first, keep us in your prayers, and then just stand with us. Don't listen to all of the stuff on social media and in the community, because the majority of it is just not true.
Yeah.
And I know you have to sift through things and figure out what's what, but I always tell people, if you have a concern, and you hear something and it concerns you, just come by the office and sit and talk with me, and I'll tell you whether it's true or not.
Right.
If it's something that we've done and we made a mistake on, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, we did it. We're gonna try to correct it. But just first, just don't take it and start spreading it around. So we need a community behind us. Just stick with us, and we're we're in this together. So just pray for us and stick with us.
And see, and that's the thing. A lot of people are, talking amongst themselves and, spreading rumors of things that's going on. But they really don't know, they really don't understand how hard officers work and the things that they go through day in and day out, the things that they have to put up with. They're just not just riding around in police cars. Like, you all have a very hard job.
We do.
I mean, it is not easy what you all do. So, I mean, people just have to stop looking from the outside in and really understand what police officers go through. And I know that because I was married to one before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to say, I know how hard you guys work. So I appreciate y'all.
Exactly. You just mentioned something, Veronica, and it was going to go in the direction. I thought you was going to present the question to Sheriff Hudson Jr. on this, and I want to present it to him. You just mentioned so many things that these police officers have to do. And you have to realize once they put that uniform on and that badge, it doesn't make them Superman and Superwoman.
Right.
They're still human. How do you, or how does you and your staff, that all the things you took an oath, you took this job and the responsibility, but what do you have in place for the stresses on the job that your deputies or yourself or may be going through? Do you have something that helps evaluate your officers at a certain amount of time of the year, just to kind of debrief from this trauma? Because it's trauma. A lot of times it's trauma. When they're walking into situations, things that they are seeing, we're not seeing this as your citizens of Darlington County. What do you have in place that can help them, that can relieve this from them, so that they can exhale for a moment and then get back on the job, because they have a very stressful job?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Well, we have a group out of Columbia that we can call at any time. Any officer needs to speak with someone, that group will come here at the sheriff's office and give them counseling. And we also have two ministers, volunteer ministers that's with us, that if we call around the clock, doesn't matter what time of day or night, they will come if we need for them to come and counsel an officer. But at any time we are involved in an incident and it's pretty bad, then it's mandatory for us to call that Columbia that we have, and we have to talk to them. That's part of our process.
Okay.
It's part of our policy as well.
Good. Veronica?
Now, I wanted to go back to the crime, because this was kind of alarming. An article came out last year, and it said that, and it was back in May, and the article read, Darlington and Hartsville shooting rates exceeds Chicago. We all hear about, the violence and the crime that's in Chicago. So they compare Darlington and Hartsville to Chicago.
How can you do that? How big is Chicago compared to Darlington and Hartsville?
Right.
Now, Darlington County has always had its share of crime, and most people don't pay attention to that, but it's always had its share of crime for whatever reason. But again, during that time they were speaking of, it was high across the nation. So, and we understood that. We talked about it through the Sheriff Association. It was talked about through the Chief Association. We have a staff meeting at our office once a week sometimes twice a week. Just depends on what's going on. So I'd always tell the people we have to evaluate ourselves first, and then once we can figure out what's going on with us, then we can move forward. But they gave Hartsville the name Killerville years ago.
Mhm.
And we had our share of homicides and crime. But overall, when you look at Hartsville being the size of 66,000 people, it's not what it appears to be. And out of 66,000 people, it's only about 10 or 12, maybe 15% of the people that don't want to follow man's law and are violators and are doing things that's causing problems in various communities around the PD area. And another thing that we found out doing our research is a lot of the things that takes place in our county comes from other counties, people that live in other counties. And it's back and forth, and it's just like that. I'm sure things that happen in other counties are people that don't live in their county.
Mhm.
So evaluations, we try to look at everything, every aspect, and we put more than one set of eyes on it. We try to make sure that we have other people to look at it that are not law enforcement personnel, because we want to get their opinion. What do you think about this report? What do you think about these numbers? And I've been blessed to have good friends in good places, and I rely on them to give me good advice. And so far, it's worked out great for me and the organization. So, I think we are in a good place here in Darlington County. There's a lot of work still to be done, but really, as long as the people of Darlington County stick with law enforcement, I think we can work together and we can make a difference.
Since you've been in office, Sheriff Hudson, let's change the energy a little bit. What have you implemented or programs that you have put in place? When I say put in place, events, or you participated that put a smile on your face or brought a happy tear to your eye. Let's talk about some of the good things that have been done, because I see when, working with police officers and just getting a chance to converse with them, and work to make a difference in a young person's or older person or anyone's life, it puts a smile on your face and you feel good about yourself. So looking back in this past year, what's some of the good things that touch your heart or events that you participated at that comes to your mind that you like to share with our audience tonight?
Well, we did a summer camp last year in July, and we held it at a church over here in Hartsville that had the capabilities of providing the space and some of the tools that we needed. And we had 150 kids for 3 days, and that definitely put a smile on my face. We had like 25 volunteers that came out for those 3 days and helped with that camp, and it was very successful. Actually, Representative Robert Williams was there as well. We had churches from Darlington as well as Hartsville. So that was something that we did, probably one of our first goals, our first things that we implemented, and we're already working on trying to do it again this year. So that was one of the things, that the youth summer camp, that was a biggie. One of the other things we did, and when we came in, like I said, we did our assessment. So we reorganized the organization, and we gave all the investigators a raise, and we didn't have to get that money from council. We restructured the organization, and we had money there to make that happen. The investigators were happy, and that made me happy. And so we didn't have to ask council for it, and I'm sure that made them happy as well. One of the other things we did, like I said earlier, we created the position for the liaison person for the sheriff office in the community, which is Joyce Everett, and that was great. Homicide team. We did last year in December. We did the toy drive at the sheriff office. That was really awesome. Yeah. We did a drive-through toy drive, and I mean, we had tons of people to come through there and get toys for the kids, and we didn't have to pay for any of it. It was all donated, and to the community. We gave it back. We didn't keep it. We didn't sell it. It was donated, and we gave it to the people that came and said they wanted it for Christmas.
That was a great event.
Yeah, that was a very big event.
Mm-hmm.
We also did a deer hunt in January of this year, the last day of deer hunting. It was a youth deer hunt. We did that. That was a big success as well, and didn't cost us anything. People donated money, and they donated door prizes, and it went back into the community. Sheriff office kept nothing. Everything was donated back into the community. We bought more AEDs for the department so that every officer would have one in the car, and they would be stationed around the department in the facility as well. They already had some, but we bought more. We updated our policy manual, and I know that don't sound like a lot, but that's very important in our organization to have a policy manual and make sure that it's up to date. And that's to be done once a year. That policy manual has to be reevaluated and make sure that the changes that has occurred in the year updated in the policy manual. We reestablished the Bloodhound team, and the Bloodhound team has paid dividends. We had some missing people. We had some people that committed crimes and ran, and the Bloodhound team was called out, and they caught those people, led us right to them. Evidence building. It was a project that was started up under the previous administration. Actually, it was to be implemented before that administration, and the past administration built the building, but it was incomplete. So it's now completed. It is now up to code. It is now where the Evidence Preservation Act is supposed to be with the building. That's a bill that Senator Gerald Malloy sponsored years ago. And now that building is up to code. It has air conditioning, it has camera system, it has heating, it has everything that bill said evidence building has to have. So you can process evidence inside and maintain evidence as well. Boat team, we got the boat team back. As for rescue on water, so we got that stuff back as well. Every SRO was issued a rifle in school, and that's for to protect the staff and the students at the school district.
Right.
And there's a lot of other things that I can mention, but I'm sure you want to talk about something else as well.
No, we love to hear the good things that's going on.
Yeah,
You know, because most of the community don't get to hear those things. We always hear the negative things that's going on, but we never get to hear the good side of what police officers are doing for the community. So we don't mind hearing that.
Yeah, that's the handshake of the community. You mentioned the Bloodhound, the Bloodhound team, and I came across an article. I don't know if it was a couple of weeks ago, but it was where a gentleman ran in the woods. He had a machete, but there was some mental issues there, and they was able to get him, secure the situation, no problems there. But that springs me into the next question. You know, there's a lot of stresses out here, and then we're still dealing with COVID, but you know, different places deal with it differently. But we all have had our share of issues dealing with COVID and other stresses out there. How do you deal with mental health cases if you get a call that someone is acting up, and then you get to the place and you realize that the person is mentally challenged? Do you have officers trained to deal with mental health folks that, you know, because sometimes police officers look at, they're not trained in a mental health case, and they go at the person and the person may act out. But sometimes if you have folks that understand that, they can de-escalate the situation down. Yes.
The Criminal Justice Academy, it's mandatory that we take a 40-hour course in mental health through the Criminal Justice Academy. And it might not be 40 hours, but it's mandatory that we take the course through the academy. I think it's a 4-hour block, and it covers pretty much everything. So that gives each officer I would say, a foundation on what to look for if they make contact with a person that in their mind at the time seems to not be rational, if you will. So that's what we have to do. And also, we do in-house training at the sheriff's office once a month on various things that has happened around the country that we believe that our officers need to be brought up to speed on and educated on. Yesterday, we did in-house service with DSS about EPC. And so every month we're doing something. Our training department is really up on that. I told them, I said, every month I want to make sure we're doing something about what's going on around the country, what has happened. We need to make sure these officers are getting the tools that they need. So yes, that's what we do through the Criminal Justice Academy in regards to mental health. But we also try to teach it and rehearse it and keep people up to date on it through the in-service training at the sheriff's office as well.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
We have a question here from one of the viewers, Stevenson. He says, does Darlington County Sheriff's Department have an open door policy, and how strongly is to be enforced?
The Darlington County Sheriff's Office, during my campaign, I said that we would have a true open door policy, and I believe we have lived up to that. If you come to the sheriff's office and you say you want to see the sheriff, and I'm there, you get to see the sheriff. No one runs interference. We don't do that. Now, we have some media people that I think is a little unfair to us, that we have to sometimes be cautious of. But a citizen of this county that has a legitimate concern, if I'm there, they get to talk to the sheriff.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. And folks don't rate that it has to always be a problem.
No.
It doesn't have to always be a problem. And I read that I'm glad Stevenson asked that, because that's on my paper about that open door policy. A lot of sheriffs and police officers and police and law enforcement and authority, they don't have those open door policies, and and the community feel like they can't talk to them. But when you start to have an open door policy, not that you take every issue to the sheriff, but when you have an open door policy, you can have a better relationship with the personnel there that is the law enforcement in your community. That's the start. Those are the building blocks of making a successful community.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Sammy says, see, most people do have a negative view of the police and don't trust them, especially young black men.
Yeah, can you speak to that, Sheriff Hudson?
Well, and that's true. Most young black men don't trust law enforcement. And it could be from what they've heard, what they've experienced, what they've seen in the media, what they've seen in the media, period. And that's their right. But I would hope that they would give us a chance to get to know us, because a lot of things that they see and hear is not accurate. And then at the same time, there's a shared responsibility. There's a shared responsibility that we have to understand that it's like a hidden conversation nobody wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to make sure that we understand that and be willing to go the extra mile to show these young men that we're not the bad guy. In fact, we understand, we get it. Mm-hmm. But if you allow us, if you let us in, if you just listen to us, you'll find that we're not out to hurt you. I'm not. The people that work for me should not be. And if I find out that we have somebody that's working for this administration does have bad intentions, that they won't be working for this administration. But for the most part, we try to hire people that is going to be engaged in doing the right thing, whether they're black or white. That's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. So I think when we talk about our young black men, we need to understand that they probably have had a bad experience somewhere in life. If not them, their parents or grandparents or a family member. And you can create doubt when there's nothing going on. You can create doubt. I had a guy to tell me one time, He said he can create any environment he wanted to. And over time, I've watched that, and there's some truth to that.
That's right.
So when people put out bad information, especially when it's intended that way, they can create a lot of issues for people that really don't need those issues and don't understand why.
Mm-hmm. And when you're on both sides of the fence and understand it, you can empathize with both sides. I mean, it's Black History Month, and we're proud to see a sheriff like yourself in the position. But also on the end of the day, it's just not about color. It's about your heart, Black or white, at the end of the day. And it's about good people working together, because that's how the world is going to continue to go around and push forward without push forward and push this negativity out of the way. So I agree with you. I totally agree that, you give folks a chance, communicate with them, talk with them. That's what prejudging a person is that you don't know anything about them, and then you judge them before you get to know them. Have a conversation with them, and then you may see that you're all on the same common ground. Give a person a chance.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Most of us, especially those of us who grew up in the South, and especially here in the PD, have very similar backgrounds. So when you get down to it, there ain't a whole lot of difference between us. Some people work a little bit harder to obtain different things, and some people are more blessed than others, if you will. But that don't mean they're bad people or good people. And you just have to look at it for what it is. But unfortunately, in our society, people want to categorize us by where we live, how much money we make, how we dress, how we speak, how we wear our hair. And that's not fair to a lot of people.
Right.
I just thank God that I ain't gonna say I never was put in that position, because I'm sure people did that to me. But I was always taught you work hard and you obtain what you can afford, and the things that you ain't got, you just ain't got.
Right.
And it is what it is. So, working all these years to become Sheriff of Darlington County was a goal of mine. And I couldn't accomplish that goal without people like who voted for me and cheered me on. And I was down a lot of days, and I was thinking to myself, why me? Why are people saying these things about me? Why are people doing this to me? But I have to understand that when you open yourself up to the public, you'll find out who's with you and who ain't with you.
That is right.
Real quick.
You'll find that out real quick. And I used to work with a guy who used to work with us here in Darlington County. We worked on patrol together, and he told me that years ago. He said, Hudson, I'm gonna tell you something. If you want to find out what people think about you, run for public office, and you'll find out who's with you. And I found, and I was disappointed in some, and I was thankful in some others. But it has opened my eyes to a lot. My friends tell me that I'm too trustworthy. You trust people too much. You always want to see the good in everybody. The way I do, because somebody gave me a chance.
Right. Yep. That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's what good-hearted people do.
Yes.
We give people a chance. We don't go by what someone else says. We want to give them a chance. We want to see it for ourselves if they are that person.
That's right.
So that's a good thing. Pierre says you can count him in for one of your volunteers.
I appreciate that.
So important.
Yes. Let me see. There is a choice we all make. We just make the best choice. Rodney says there is a choice we all make in our life. We just have to make the best choice.
And we learn from everything. Is not just a mistake. It's just sometimes we learn that maybe I could have went left instead of right. And that poses another question to you. You've been in law enforcement, Sheriff Hudson, for 20 plus years. You've been in different positions in law enforcement, and now you're the Sheriff of Darlington County. Looking back since 2021 as Sheriff of Darlington County, what are some of the things that you have learned? Because we're supposed to be learning from the cradle to the grave, they said. So what are some of the things that you have learned? I'm not going to say, I wouldn't put you on the spot and say, what would you do differently? I wouldn't say that. But what have you learned that you think has made you a better person and be a better servant to your community?
I would say, since being sheriff, I've learned how important my family really is to me, and I trust in God a whole lot more than I once did. I've always trusted in God, but now, I say my prayer every morning before I go to work. I ask Him to give me wisdom, sharpen my hearing, sharpen my eyesight, and to pray that, if there's someone out there that's trying to hurt James Hudson, just give me a warning. And I've been in meetings and I've been in places, and you can tell when people just ain't for you. So valuing my family more, because they was there through this whole process from start to finish. And, knowing that no matter what happens, they're going to always be there for me, whether it's good or bad, whether I fall on my face, whether I make a mistake and get criticized for it, they're going to be there for me. And just knowing that as long as I keep my faith in God, it doesn't matter what nobody else say or what they do to me as a human being, it's going to always be all right.
That's right. And that's one thing that I love about you is your faith in God. You speak about it at your events all the time. And I really appreciate that, because we all know, you don't have to be big on faith, but we all know that there's a higher power that's definitely watching over us in all that we do, so I appreciate you for that and your faith in God.
I just want to say one correction to the sheriff. He said, my family's there from, to the beginning to the finish, and you still running that race. You ain't at the finish line, brother, yet. You still running that race, and they running right with you, brother.
We in it to the end.
That's right.
I want to be Sheriff of Darlington County as long as I can, and that's my intentions. And I know my family's going to be there with me. I know the people that actually care about James Hudson are going to be there with me. And I guess that's another lesson I learned, that the people that care about you, you'll find out who those people are. Taking this job and running for this office, I had no hidden agendas. I'm not a power-hungry person. And the sheriff has a lot of power. A lot of power.
Yes,
but that's I don't get into the power thing. I get up in the mornings that I go to work, and my job is to serve the people of this county. And I don't want to be one of those who say, "Well, I'm the sheriff, and this is what I want. This how it's going to be." Because I think if I fall into that, then that's not who James Hudson is. I don't have to work hard or pretend to be James Hudson. That's just, that's me. I'm James Hudson. But when if you try to be someone outside yourself, it takes a lot of work.
Right. You don't need that extra energy.
And I'm not an actor, and they ain't paying me millions of dollars to be one. So why not be James Hudson?
Right.
The country boy. I speak broken English. That's just who I am. But if you ask me something, I'm gonna try to give you the best sensible answer that I can give you. And if you need me to help do something, we're gonna try to make it happen. And if we can't, then we'll try something different. But as Sheriff of Darlington County, I don't think that people went wrong who voted James Hudson in. I think they made a great choice, and I hope they continue to make that choice. We're gonna have hiccups. We're gonna have up and down. As men and women who wear a badge and gun, we're gonna make mistakes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how life is. But for the
Veronica, I want to ask him one quick question, and Sheriff Hudson, you don't have to elaborate. This is an outside question. When I say it's an outside question, for me being a person that relocated here. Can you just explain the difference between, in the sense of the responsibility of the sheriff, the police, and the state trooper? Because they all, you understand, the state troopers, you see them on in the interstate, you see the police in the city, but you also see your sheriff and the deputies around the town and the city. What's the difference in the sense of their responsibilities?
Yeah. The police is what we call the police, which is a municipality, which works for the city of Darlington, city of Hartsville, Society Hill, Lamar. The police is on a different, is a different government. They're governed by a city manager or mayor and council, and the police chief is appointed. And police officers are trained to answer calls for service, work crimes, do funerals, and things of that nature. And they do a wonderful job at that. And I was a head agency at Hartsville Police Department, so I had to learn the difference between the police department and the sheriff office myself. Now, the sheriff is a constitutional elected official, which means he has the ultimate. He is the lead law enforcement official in his county or her county, because we now have a female sheriff in Charleston County. But that sheriff controls a whole lot of things. He has to serve papers. He does evictions. He does summons. He's responsible for providing security for schools. As I mentioned earlier about funerals, he's responsible for courts. He works closely with the coroner. They kind of work in conjunction. The coroner determines the cause and manner of death, and he has some powers to assist in investigations. But the sheriff is the ultimate law enforcement leader in the county. Highway Patrol, the colonel of South Carolina is appointed by the governor or appointed by a body from the governor's administration, and he oversees all the troopers in the state of South Carolina. And the troopers mainly work wrecks, fatalities. They help with parades. They help us at the race every year. So they do a lot of traffic control, things of that nature. But their job is mainly traffic control and working wrecks and things of that nature, speeding, writing tickets, like that. Okay. That's kind of what they do. And we've had people from the sheriff office go work for Highway Patrol, and we have a lot of friends in Highway Patrol. We have a lot of friends in the municipality world as well. But municipality, when it comes down to it, is probably your most adverse, well, not adverse, but trained, because they do a little bit of everything. They work rigs. They do about everything except serve papers and do transports.
Got it.
So when it comes down to it, they got a lot of responsibility. The only difference is they work for an appointed official with the chief of police, and the sheriff deputies work for a elected official, and the sheriff hires and appoints deputies to go out and represent him or her in his daily duties and exercise the duties of the sheriff office.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you.
Sheriff Hudson, I'm going to read a few of these last comments, and then I'll give you the floor and let you make your final statements, because we said we wasn't going to hold you up tonight. So okay. I'm going to read quickly through these last 4 comments, and then we'll give you the floor. Katina says, seeing my brother in a high position has taught me a lot. There are always haters, Hudson. You just got to ignore the negative and go on. Lesson learned. And you know, her brother is Mr. Williamson, state trooper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Deidre says, Sheriff Hudson and the entire department are making a positive impact in the county. Sheriff Hudson is in the community. He is approachable and willing to listen. Stevenson says, this is Pierre. He says, Sheriff Hudson is a man on the square. So if he ain't got nothing else, he got faith and trust in God. And one last one, Michael Mills says, I love seeing my people like you and L.T. Williams in the position that you both are in. L.T. Williams is my cousin, and I salute you guys.
Yeah. So he's the man on the square, so we brothers. That's it.
So I'm going to let you have the final words, Mr. Hudson, and let you speak to the viewers. And just know that you do have a lot of people behind you. A lot of people support you, and we appreciate what you have done this for Darlington County, and what you are going to continue on doing for us. Thank you.
Well, let me start by saying I just want to thank God for allowing me to be able to serve in this position, to be in my right mind, and giving me the ability to do it, and be thankful for my family and close friends that has been with me all the way, as you guys as well. And you know, if you want to talk to the Sheriff of Darlington County, his name is James Hudson Jr. And I am more than willing to talk to you at any time. I can come by your place of business. I can come by your residence. We can sit and talk. I won't make you any promises, but whatever you have that needs to be worked on, we'll work on it together, and we'll try to find a solution for it. But please understand, I think the people of Darlington County have made a good choice in myself being Sheriff of Darlington County. And I don't take that lightly. I'm very serious about this job. I love what I do. Even with all the ups and downs, I still love what I do. And I want to continue being your sheriff of Darlington County for as long as you will have me. And I hope that will be until I get ready to say I'm too old to do this job again. But I just hope that you guys just understand that, you know, I'm just a country boy from Darlington County, born and raised. And I just try to do right by people because I want them to do right by me. And if we all think along those lines, I think we'll be fine. And just be able to work together to try to continue to deter and reduce crime in Darlington County. And I think we're on the right track. We'll be having more events coming up. Those events will be posted on our Darlington County website, and we want you all to attend. Again, don't forget about this Saturday, prayer walk in Darlington. We'll be meeting at the courthouse in Darlington, there on the square, at 9 o'clock. We will break down into teams, and each team will take a sector of a community, and they will go out and walk the streets and pray and hold up signs saying, we're here to pray for you. There will be no individual contact if not needed. We're not going to be knocking on people's doors. We don't want to upset anyone. We're just going to walk and pray. And if people come out and want to join, then we're more than happy to have them. So please come out on Saturday and join us in the prayer walk in Darlington. And the sheriff office, and I've said this during our campaign, the sheriff office is the office of the people. It's not the office of James Hudson. It's not the office of any one person. It's the office of the people. And you guys have voted me in to be the gatekeeper. And I'm going to do everything I can to keep out the eavesdroppers and unwanted. And if we have any confusion, then we'll break for service, and we'll come back, and then we'll try to reconvene and get it right. So that's it in a nutshell. I'm your sheriff of Darlington County, and I just want everybody to know that. And I'm gonna work hard to continue to do the best job that we can do. And I've instructed the staff. I want them to get out more as well. Our patrol guys are working very hard. They deserve a ton of respect. These guys out here answering that radio 24/7, and I mean they're working like today. I mean, we had a lot of things going on. We had transports going on. We had court going on. We had calls. I mean, just back-to-back calls, and it took all of us to get them caught up. but we work together, and that is my intention. Work together, and we can make a difference. But I'm your sheriff of Darlington County. My name's James Hudson Jr. And please come by 1621 Harry Bird Highway in Darlington. That's where the sheriff office. That's where the building is located at. So please stop by. And if nothing else, just say, I just want to walk through the sheriff office. I've never been here before. And we'll give, because the sheriff office is for the people. It's not for James Hudson. So please come. We'll take you and show you our office space. We'll show you our bloodhound team. We'll show you the things that we can show you, because some stuff is off limits to the public. But if you just want to come by and walk through and say, you know what, can I sit in your chair? Sit in it. Sit in it. That's the office of the people, and I'm your gatekeeper. And I want to try to be the best gatekeeper that I can be for you. We have no hidden agendas there. We're here to work. We've had some hiccups, but we want to work through those hiccups as well. Like I said earlier, the only thing that we kind of shy sometimes is some representatives of the media. I think sometimes they'll have our best interests at heart, and not all of them, but some. And sometimes, I'm sorry, not all of them.
Yeah, not all of us are bad. I get it. Yeah,
that's it.
We have some out there that are on a different wavelength, I believe, and I don't know why.
right.
But I just thank you guys for what you're doing as well, having a podcast, having a radio talk show, and I think it's good for the community because people have a way to express themselves.
Yes, absolutely.
Just keep praying for us, keep us uplifted, and brother, we'll meet one day on the square.
That's right, we will definitely, my brother. Like Brother Stevenson say, so mote it be, Sheriff.
That's so mote it be.
So mote it be.
Thank you so much, Sheriff Hudson. You forgot one thing. I love when y'all say James Hudson, and I approve this message.
I'm James Hudson Jr., and I approve this message.
There you go.
There you go.
Great
Thank
job.
you so much. Thank you once again for all that you do, Sheriff. We appreciate it. And anytime you want to come back to the T, you're always welcome to come on this platform.
My pleasure.
My pleasure as well.
My co-host, let me see what he's saying. He says, thanks for coming on, Sheriff. Great conversation, but I don't think I want to walk through your facilities. I will take your word for it. Well, I definitely, I'm coming through. I'm coming through it, and I want to sit in your chair too.
Please do. You can sit there. Please do.
Well, thank you so much. And here's the co-host, Victor. Well, we are getting ready to sip some tea, Mr. Hudson, so we're going to let you go.
All right.
Once again, we appreciate you so much. Continue doing what you're doing, and God bless you.
God bless you, sir. All right. Thank you.
That was a great interview. We appreciate Sheriff Hudson for sitting with us tonight.
I can go get mine.
Always glad to have him come and sit with us on the T. Brother Victor is joining us now.
Can I go get my Heineken now? I'm going to get my Heineken.
So things are getting ready to get a little spicy in here.
I didn't think it was going to shoot me right in. I thought I was going to be backstage, but it shot me right in. I didn't mean to. I apologize.
That's all right, brother. You part of the team, bro.
Right. Well, thank y'all so much for watching. We do have an email letter for those of you who would like to stick around and join us. Those of you who are new to the T, thanks for watching the interview with Sheriff Hudson. We actually do this every Tuesday and Thursday night, 8 o'clock. Once again, we talk about any and everything right here on the T. So, like I said, things are getting to get spiced up. We have an email letter, so we are switching gears right now. So, buckle down, and here we go with the. Let me get the email letter up.
Chill.
First of all, how was your day, Victor?
It was interesting. How about that?
Okay.
It was very interesting. For team, you already got your juice ready?
I want to go get it. I'm going to get it. I'll be right back.
You know what? Really? Why are you even asking me? Why? Oh man.
How you been?
I've been good. Today's been good. I mean, I'm a little tired, but you know,
Ready to go. Let's go.
my energy picks up when I come on the tee. So, all right. So we have an email letter, and I did respond back and let her know that we had the sheriff on tonight, but we was going to get to her email letter. So I didn't want to put it off no more. So it's not a long one. She just needs some advice when it comes to finance. It says, how can you tell someone you need more help financially in a relationship? She says, I'm 41 years old and my boyfriend is 38. We've been dating for about 2 years now. We lived together in a house that I had before we got together, and he does not help out as much as I would like for him to. He's more concerned with his appearance more than paying bills. He's always shopping for clothes, and he buys new sneakers every other week, seems like. I pay the majority of the bills. I would like for him to help out more, but I'm a little afraid to say something because I was paying for everything on my own before he moved in with me. Even though since he moved here, we have accumulated more bills together. I don't want to start a big argument because I love peace in the home. How would you suggest I handle this? So those of you who are maybe lost because we had Sheriff Hudson was joining us, which he did. We just, Mr. Hudson just got off with us, and now we're moving on to what we do best, and that is helping someone out that need us with this email letter. Oh, Michelle, just go right into it, huh? You're welcome, Mr. Sammy. Yes, it was very uplifting. So glad that Sheriff Hudson came on and joined us. Thank you. Okay. So she's 41 and he's 38. And she wants to know how can she ask him to help out more financially. She says she paid the majority of the bills. She want peace in the home, so she really don't want to say anything to him about it. She says she would like for him to help out more, but she's a little afraid to say something because she was paying for everything on her own before he moved in. Okay, that's all good and gravy, but he's there now. So you just can't let him just not do anything. I mean, anybody that comes live with you should have a responsibility to pay to help out with the bills. So just because that was your house first doesn't give him a getaway pass, to not help you out with the bills around the home. How long you guys been together? Did she say? We've been dating for about 2 years. Yeah, you got to help out, sir. You have responsibilities now, not knowing. I don't know where you came from, not knowing if you were staying with your parents and you moved in with her, or you had your own place. But you're grown. You're 38, so you have to take care of responsibilities, and your responsibilities, you moved in with this lady, so you need to be helping out, not just dressing fine and trying to look GQ all the time and buying sneakers and things. But yeah, conversation is key. And if you want some help, you're going to have to ask for it. You just can't assume that he's going to help you. I mean, you would think that he would be more involved in helping out around the house with bills and stuff. But sometimes we got to open our mouth and let people know what we really want.
Open what?
Your mouth. So conversation is key. Let them know you need more help. Victor?
So, this is how I look at it. Okay, I'm a big believer, start out like you can hold out. If I come in to a situation and you're already, doing this and doing that, now you want me to pick it up. Understand that I shouldn't say a good man, as a man, I'm assessing the situation. So you're already giving me leeway to dress however, whoop de whoop, and I'm in your crib. So the minute I start paying bills at your house, so you want me to help out, I already know you can't afford to stay here. So I'm going to switch up. Second thing is, when you start asking for help, then that means this guy has access to make changes in a home that you may consider that short. So I'm not saying she shouldn't ask, but just be aware that when you ask this guy for help, this thing's going to be perceived so many different ways. So if I was living with someone and I was making some money and I wasn't paying bills, and all of a sudden, you want me to help you out, I'm like, okay, I can help you out, but I need to be I got to have access the same way you got access. So you're going to relinquish some kind of power when you do that. But I don't want to get too far into it, Fatim.
All right, so I'm going on what she said. So she said that when she was there by herself before he moved in, she was able to pay the bills. So she could handle her money and handle her bills. She said when he moved in and, as time went on, they incurred more bills together.
Mm-hmm.
And by them incurring more bills together, now it's a little bit more difficult for her to still pay all the bills because now he's there and they incurred bills. So if he wasn't there, she was handling the bills. Now he's there, they incurred more bills. I still say it's her fault because it's her place. You incurred more bills and you didn't say anything. So for him, he's just going about his business. If you didn't say anything, then he's just going on about living his life because however he got in there, if you asked him to come in there, if he asked to come in, the bottom line is you didn't put no stipulations down. And since there was no stipulations, and maybe there wasn't needed no stipulations in the beginning because there was no bills incurred at the beginning. But as time went on, you mentioned that. So as soon as those bills started coming in and you realized, hey, I didn't make all these bills now by myself. All I'm asking you is to contribute to the bills that we made together. I think that's a fair thing, but don't complain about it. Be about it and speak about it. That's all to it.
Well, it seems to me she's scared to be alone, so she is accommodating him so he can stay there. I mean, that could be it. But I'm saying though, any grown man know if he come live with someone that he now has responsibilities to help out around the house. I mean, that's common sense. I mean, for some people, that's common sense. That's like me. If I go move in with somebody, hey, what can I help with? What do you need for me to help with? I'm talking about a female.
See, that's the thing.
I'm talking if I'm moving in with a girlfriend.
Oh,
that's different. This is different. That's different.
Once somebody start paying bills, in a home, the whole dynamic of the relationship changes. You know what I'm saying? You can know, like, I know what I'm accustomed to doing. I like to run my shower for a while before I get into it. So if somebody move in and they tell me, Vic, you need to stop doing that, I got to listen. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that change, plus when you live with somebody, but when somebody start paying bills, I'm paying a portion of the bills, then it's you can't sit here and tell me I got to be home at a certain time. I got to do this. I got to do that. You know what I'm saying? This is my home as well. So in 2 years, y'all moved in together. If that's a responsibility and you see yourself long-term with this guy, then yes, he needs to be paying some bills. But if I shouldn't say scared, but if you're kind of cautious about talking to him about share financial responsibility, then you may need to reconsider having this guy in your home permanently.
But Vic, let me ask you this. I'm just looking at this, and I'm not saying you're not looking at it from a common sense point of view. And she wasn't she was kind of specific. She said she could pay her bills. The bills that they incurred made her bills go up. So if she says to him, look, I need you to contribute to some groceries and contribute to the gas. I'm just using this as a gas bill. I don't down here electric bill. Just contribute half to the gas bill. I don't see no problem with that. I don't think there's no dynamic. If you're eating the food and I've been paying the food bill normally for me, and now you eating the food, there's the contribution to the food, and I'm cooking a little bit more and a contribution to that. I don't see that being a problem. I don't see her coming down and say, let's split all the bills down the line. Down the middle. If she said I could handle it before, I think that the bills that they incur together, he should contribute. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that.
So he shouldn't help out with the mortgage.
I don't think so. No, that's not necessarily. She was handling that.
I don't care if I was handling it or not. You moved in with me, so help me with the mortgage. That's a roof over your head.
What if she asked him to move in? But if she asked him to move in and didn't put that stipulation, then why does he have? Well, we don't know. So again, when somebody
doesn't have a mortgage.
What?
She doesn't have one. She says she got the house.
No, she was saying that she was living there.
Prior.
We lived together in a house that I had before we got together.
Okay, well, if I pay the day I make a payment on that mortgage, you're gonna put me on that deed. The day. But before we get that far, if you have to ask someone to pay their way, you should not be with that person. As a man coming in, before I move into your home, I'm gonna say, okay, what you want me to cover? You know what I'm saying? I don't see where these women. I swear, I wish I could meet some of these. How do you sit here and you let a guy stay with you a month or a week and not contribute to something before you even get there? Even if I'm moving in, I'm like, hey, I'm moving in. You know, here's $1,500. Let me go ahead. You go ahead and catch everything up. If you behind, hey, what's the water bill? Whatever. You should never have to ask a person that you are living with, whether you male or female. You should never have to ask somebody, hey, you think you could pay the water bill? I should have to never ask.
Yeah, and he has the money, Vic, and he got the money. He got the money because she said he's buying clothes, so he can contribute. It's just. The question is, did she have a conversation with him? I know what Vic's saying is that
not. You as a man should ask, what do you need for me to take care of?
That's not why.
Wait a minute. Our woman, yeah. So you mean to tell me, I can go move in with the female and not even think twice about helping her pay her mortgage?
I sure would.
Yeah. Because she was doing it before. See,
I
know you don't care, but I'm dealing with the letter. She's saying that she handled all these bills before. She mentioned about them making bills together, and now she's having trouble paying her bills. So if they made these bills together, he should contribute to the bills that he's making there. You can't just sit there and say, I put it like this: somebody moved in with me for a certain amount of time. I'm not going to put that mortgage on them. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying
because you are a male. We're talking about a female, and a man is moving in with her. That man should have responsibility to help her pay for that mortgage.
He should have enough respect, but that don't mean.
But y'all don't have respect because you both said you wouldn't help out with the mortgage.
No. What we're saying is, I'm listening to this letter. I wouldn't help out with the mortgage because she didn't ask me to. And I don't know but because I don't know the circumstances why he moved in. So I'm not going to sit here and say
I asked you and Victor. If y'all moved in with a female, would you all
I'm a helpful person. I'm not going to do that.
No, you didn't. That's not the question. The question you asked was, could we move in with a female and not pay bills? Yes, I could. I mean, if Oprah asked me to move in with her, what I'm going to pay?
Yeah.
What am I
paying? We talking about Oprah. We talking about a female that works a 9-to-5 job.
You said, could I? Okay, yes, I could go move in with somebody and not pay the bills. Yes, that is possible. Yeah. Will I? I doubt it. Yes, I could.
I agree with Vic. I agree. No sense. Yes, it does.
Could and would. That's the same thing.
No, it is. I mean, should I help you or will I help you? I should. but I still might not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the words that you use.
Or maybe it's just the circumstance. It's the circumstance.
Okay, if you move, okay, say me, and we was dating,
Oh, okay.
Who's this question posed to? Me or Fatine?
both of you, and
Okay.
I start with Fatine.
Okay.
If you met me, we've been seeing each other for a while, 5-6 months. You know, we got that bond, everything is going good, and I want to be with you for a long period of time. Fatine, would you like to move in with me? Because right now you're staying with your homeboy.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to move? Would you come move in with me?
I'll move in with you, and then we have that conversation before I move in. What's what down the road? That's me. So yeah, I would have that conversation. I would possibly move in, but it would be a conversation and what's the responsibility and what needs to be done. So I know what my responsibility is and do what I have to do. That's it.
Okay, but I'm going by the letter. Okay, you move in with me. We didn't have a conversation.
Okay.
I've been paying for all this stuff before you moved in with me. We didn't have a conversation.
So you asking for teen. So I'm going to contribute. I'm going to contribute, but we still. Oh, you don't have to ask me, but I'm gonna ask you, what do you need me to contribute to? That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, as long as you okay, so you asking. That's a
I
good
would
thing.
ask,
At least you
yeah.
ask. What do I need help with?
I'm a responsible. I've been independent, so I would ask if I'm gonna move in. I never lived with a woman that had her own, and I was moving into her apartment. I never did that. I wish I did one time, but because I think I could go far like that, but I just did, because I think a contribution, if a woman has herself established and I got myself established, I think we can go very far. Victor, financially.
Victor, would you move in with me?
Now, it's gonna sound crazy when I say this, but I truly mean this. Are we? What? It depends on what kind of sex we having. If we having condom sex, I ain't paying shit. You know what I'm saying? But if we rawing, yeah. But see, I was responding to something. Michael was saying, and the thing about when it comes to bills, if you need some help with the mortgage, you should not ask for, I need for you to help me pay the mortgage. The question needs to be posed, can you help? Can you contribute a certain amount? And then you use that amount however you want to divvy it up. That way it's less confusion. So
that's a good point.
If you sit here, if your mortgage is, I don't know, let's say $1,000 a month, you know what I'm saying? You should never let nobody know how much your mortgage is if you don't plan on this person being there forever. So you might tell somebody, okay, baby, I need for you to contribute $750 a month. And he might, for what? Hey, that's food, lights, water, whatever. That goes towards the entire household expenses. That way, if he can give you that $750, he doesn't feel obligated to say, well, if he said, what's my $750 for? Then you with the wrong person. Contribute that money to the household and let her use the $750 however it is. Now, if I ever come home and I flip the lights and they off, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way. But don't ever let nobody know this is your bill if it's your crib.
So if you wait a minute. Now, Victor, you brought this up earlier. It's an interesting point. So you move in her house. I'm not saying you're not disrespectful, but you tell her, hey, baby, Vic and Fatine and the crew gonna come over here and we're gonna watch the game tonight. He can't get no flack. There ain't no lip, ain't no back talk, ain't no lip. Because if there's lip, there ain't no $750 payment next month. Ain't no $750 payment next month.
That's crazy as hell.
Oh, damn right.
But see, why you want to make the rules? I'm paying bills here now.
Yeah, I'm paying bills. You see, now it goes down the middle, baby. Now it goes down the middle.
So you telling me?
But see, right? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Ms. Rose said, if a man is going to live with me, it's understood from the start he is going to help. I can do bad all by myself. Exactly.
And that's but that wasn't established to start with, because she was doing good by herself, and now she's taking a downward spiral, and now she needs help. But I feel real funny that why can't you talk to this man?
Mhm.
Like Fatine said, he's got money because he's fly.
He buying clothes. What?
Michelle said you should not have to tell a grown man to help with bills. Exactly. You
She
should.
living, yeah, she might be saying living with a boy, but apparently his little thing or whatever is enough for her, or was enough for her. But now that little weenie wearing off, now and the bills adding up. See, that's the thing now. Y'all women to go out there and y'all go out there and we'll play between your legs and your head all in the clouds. And but now you got some in-house wee-wee. So then in 2-3 months, your little savings account ain't looking funny. Now all of a sudden the little wee-wee ain't working no more. And now you want some help. Nah, you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying?
For those of you who are just tuning in, we had Sheriff Hudson on earlier.
And now we got in-house wee-wee on.
He has left the building.
Now
Okay.
Sheriff Hudson got to come to the thing because you done went upside my head with a 2x4 because now you mad because I want to buy the new Jordan releases and our gas about to get cut off. Now you mad.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Samuel said he needs to pay like he's renting. And Stevenson says, Brother Fatine, me as a man, I am going to pay the mortgage where I lay my head at, regardless what situation it's like.
And I hear you, Brother Stevenson, but at the end, again, everybody is different. And I'm just listening to the letter. And this guy, I can't say what kind of person he is. Maybe he should ask. We as responsible people, I'm not going to walk into somebody's house and say, I'm going to pay their rent and mortgage. Brother Stevenson, me and you said, I'm not going to sit there and say that's a guarantee that I'm going to sit in there and pay the mortgage. That's I'm not saying that's not a guarantee.
Because you ain't going to put me up. You're going to put me on. If you want me to pay that mortgage, and this is just Vic, you want me to pay that mortgage, I'm going to be on the deed.
Yeah, my name got to go on something here.
Please get out of here. Your name ain't going no deed unless we're engaged. We getting ready to get married and walk down the aisle.
We ain't walking no way. I'm walk out the door.
No one is saying that you paying the entire mortgage. We're saying help out. I'm not saying if my mortgage is $1,000. I'm saying, hey, I need for you to pay the mortgage since you live here. No, I need.
She shouldn't have let. You know what? I'm blaming her all the way around on this, and not to say he's irresponsible. He can be irresponsible, but I'm not. I'm saying that I'm blaming her for didn't say nothing in the beginning, and then incurred these bills without saying anything. Once you just say, if we're gonna get this credit card together, you know what? When I sign this card over to you, you got to every month, so and so. If you didn't do that and communicate, and then think as time go on, and he's been doing the same thing from day one, he stepped in there. He's not doing anything wrong because you haven't said anything to him. You didn't complain about this in the beginning.
Well, that's what I said. Conversation is key. She definitely should have this talk. She should have had this talk with him. I'm not sure how long they've been living together.
Good.
Can I please put this comment up, because this cougar right here in this comment section is doing the most. She says, I'm going to say he would not be living with me. This is 2022. If I pay my bills, I can see her doing this. If I'm paying my bills, I'm living alone. He could come over and we can play for 2 hours and then get up and shower and go to his mom's house.
And that's right.
How old is this dude? You know what? I don't even want to know. But all I know is if you playing with Michelle, your ass is going to be.
Yeah, but Michelle's keeping it straight. She's saying that, look, I'm not letting nobody in here ain't going to be a man and responsible, but that don't mean I ain't going to have my fun, but I'm in control of my place. And how I do it and how I choose to do whatever I do behind closed doors, I'm in charge. Michelle, I give you credit on that. Damn right.
Yeah, but she's saying
2 hours.
Well, whatever.
All I'm going to say, he would not be living with me if he's not paying any bills.
I got that. That's her, and I agree with her because she's laying her foundation down. This is my house. If I move a man in here, he's going to pay bills. She's laying that down. But since you're not paying no bills and you ain't moving in, but you can come over and hang around for a couple of hours, take your shower, and take your ass wherever you got to go,
I
back
thought
to
you
mama or whoever house. I'm with
But
her on that.
I thought you said that you weren't paying no bills if you move in with.
I
No,
said it's not
you
a guarantee
could.
that it's not a guarantee that I'm gonna walk in somebody's house and just pay their mortgage. That's what I with
Y'all
brother
stuck on the mortgage.
Stevenson.
So okay, forget the mortgage. Will you pay for something else?
I'm gonna pay. I've always done that. I got flooded out once. I mean, it was family, but when I walked in, I asked my cousin what her bills were. She told me. I said anything over I got. When I go grocery shopping, your kids can get whatever. I laid that soon as before I laid my head down. I established that. I went to my cousin when I came down here and stayed. Threw her money. She didn't ask me for no money. I threw her money because I'm staying in her place and I wasn't inconveniencing her, but she's doing me something, even though that's my blood. I got it. I'm going to give. That's me.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'll pay your water bill.
Yeah, you paid the cheapest thing, the water bill, Mike. Mr. Sammy, I don't know. She didn't say. I wonder where he was living before he moved in with her. Do you think he was living free?
You know what? Look at it. Look at this mess right here. A real man offers to help. What about a real woman? What does a real woman help?
Wait. Read the whole
a
comment.
real man offers to help his woman whether they are living together or not.
That's some shit, Dave. That is some shit
Patricia,
all the way around.
Patricia, let me take me a swig.
Please, let me take
I
me
mean,
a swig too, because
that's some craziness.
Well, I ain't no real man because I ain't paying no other bills. And then as soon as I leave,
A
you
real
get
man. There we go. Here we go with that real man again. The real man is a puppet. The real man does what the woman says, and that's it. As a puppet. That's it. That's it. Mm-hmm.
That's not what she's saying.
Woo! Woo! Hey!
Woo.
Hey!
Wait.
Michelle, I pay my own way, girl.
That's it, Michelle.
Veronica, if you did something, ain't nobody heard it.
Oh, real man term is
subjective.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you didn't give me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
If he is living with her,
he need to be the man of the house
and pay the bill. See, Stevenson
come.
Stevenson? Hey, you gonna find? Hey, there's plenty of women out there that would love to have
you. Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sammy said, Patricia, not
exactly.
Patricia, not. You ain't gonna be no puppet. Shit.
If I'm doing all that and I'm at work on night shift, I'm gonna need you to come toot it up at the gate. You know what I'm saying? If you want me to do all that, I'm telling you, like the team said, am I your man or am I your puppet? Like, what is like? Come on, those are unrealistic expectations.
Crazy. And Brother Stevenson, I know what you're saying is you know, I know what you're saying as a responsible man, and me and Vic is on that page as being responsible men. But you're not gonna put us in a situation and then maneuver us the way you want to maneuver us. That's not
So Patricia says, ain't no woman want no man that can't help her. I don't care if it's getting her car service. So what was you doing before I got there?
Getting my car service.
All right, well then continue to do that. Continue to.
Why Stevenson put his number up there?
I don't know. Michael say, give me your phone. So, you know, like, give me your phone. But Stevenson want to.
Even a little lonely over there.
Stevenson, he wasn't asking for your phone number. He was asking you to give you your phone so you could stop putting those comments.
Whoa.
Brother, you really put your phone number out there?
You know what? Let me just say this. Wait, hold on. Let's go back to that comment because see,
which one, bro?
The what she said about I'm not gonna deal. Ain't no woman want no man that can't help her. I don't care of getting her car service. So you said wanting to help. So I'm dating a young. I'm not, but if I was dating a young lady down here, her expectations is that I have to help her, or do I, you know, I'm a gentleman. I'll suggest to go out. I'll do this. I ain't, if we're not living together, I ain't paying your bills. What the hell am I doing? Again, I'm not on Sesame Street and I'm not on the Muppets. So ain't nobody got their hand up my and making my mouth move. So what do you mean ain't no woman want a man? Well, you mean a husband? That's different responsibility. But when you say a man, sometimes men and women that are in relationships don't even live together.
I mean, you do have men that will ask, do you need for me to help out with anything? And I mean, you two, they're not living with you, but you do have some men that will say, do you need help with anything? You know, let me know. But me personally, I'm not getting ready to ask a man who I'm not living with to help me with anything.
Because if you ask me,
if you want to help me, that's all well and good. Like, that would be so nice of you to say, you know, let me help you do this. Like, if I need a new tire or something, hey, you need help getting your tire? Or,
Veronica.
No, I'm saying it would be nice, but I'm not getting ready to ask him.
Yeah. Veronica, you my woman, if you was my woman, right? And you know what you went through a couple of weeks ago, you know, with the wiring. And I'm not gonna let you stay in the hotel. I'm gonna be like, yo, come on over here and flow. So that's that's expected. You understand? Not that you would ask me, but you wouldn't have to ask me. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So there's certain situations. It's just how people there's expectations of women have on men, and there's certain expectations we men have on women. And some people want to say it's 2022. It's 2022. So at the end of the day, your expectations, you got to be very careful with your expectations. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, they got it going on.
Huh?
Woo!
Because
Jaguar.
I'm gonna tell you something. You know, they talk about lions and tigers and all that, but have you ever seen that video where the jaguar goes into the water and snatch that crocodile out of the water and take his ass
up to the tree?
Bro, you better leave them damn jaguars alone.
That's right.
Hey, they powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful. They say the jaguar got, what is it, the strongest jaws?
Yeah.
Hey.
Trap you in there, you can't get out. That's it.
But I mean, the thing about it is, if a woman is asking for help to me, and I ain't talking about nobody, but I'm telling you what the first thing come to my mind, that's what prostitutes do, man. You always asking me for money, and I ain't like, what am I helping you for? Like, are you a adult or not? Because before I met you, you should have been self-sufficient. But now if you asking me for help, I'm like, well, what did the last dude do? Or who else is helping you? Like, come on, why do you need help and I don't? Why I can't have my money, you have your money, you live in your crib, I live in mine. Right. We meet in the middle some kind of way. But that helping shit and we don't live together, nah, Vic White ain't doing that.
Yeah. Now, if you establish a relationship, as you establishing that this is going to be a commitment in a relationship, then you handle this conversation as you're talking about, hey, you know what, we're going to be exclusive. As we're being exclusive, this is how we're going to go about doing some things here. How, let's talk about it and do that. That's what you do. That's what adults do. That's what grown folks do.
That's true. But y'all women need to stop pandering. You might as well sit at the end of Walmart with a sign and say, I need $30 or whatever. Just hold up a sign, say need help. Because that's what you're doing. You want to solicit, you soliciting yourself. Well, I'm gonna get on some coochie. You need to help. But so I'm giving you something too. Here we go. Show me what I'm giving Veronica. Huh?
She keep that shit on the table.
You definitely need to be helping out with bills.
How many bills I'm paying? I have to pay everything with that, ain't it?
Yes, indeed.
Look at Loho, shit to my a stipend. Well, you ain't no elected official. She want a stipend.
I bet a stipend would help me with my wants.
You better want me.
Shit. Boy, these
Boy,
women.
I
are
swear,
these women are something, boy.
But T, y'all got some room in New York. I'm going to New York. Tell me these women ain't down
That's
here.
why I'm in here, but I'm down here by myself. I
They
control
probably
this,
worse
baby.
there.
I control this, baby.
I tell you this,
Stevenson said, huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. Stevenson said, well, my dad always told me and my brother that a real man take care of home because so we can always have a place to come to.
You're right, Stevenson. You take care of your home. That's right. Nobody else home. Your home. Stevenson,
No,
you're right. Nobody else home. My
Stevenson
home.
Stevenson is talking about if he's living with someone. He's not talking about him living in the house and she's living in the house and he's taking care of both households. He's talking about if he's living with a female.
But if that female wants to put him out, then he ain't got no place to go and rest his head. So that's why I'm saying you can't make a statement and leave it as open. That's an open statement. Okay, I can pay that mortgage, but that woman wants to put me out and I ain't on no deed. My ass is out. So, so what's the purpose of paying it with that intention? Well, she can't put me out. Damn well she can put you out.
Well, that's just like you live in an apartment. If you're not paying are you having a mortgage and you're not paying, if you're not paying, they can put you out as well.
Right, but I'm just saying if what I'm trying to say, if I'm paying so if I got a female that comes in here and makes triple what I make and say I got the rent and she pays the rent and then we have a big blow up. She said, well, I paid the rent. This is my home too. I'll be like, where's your name on this lease? Bye. So what I'm trying to say is what Stevenson is saying is that, yes, your father is right when he says, take care of your home because you always want to have that place where you can lay your head and go home. That's your home. If you're staying with someone and y'all are in a relationship and y'all doing this together, I got that. That's respectful. But if you're not having a conversation, don't assume that a person is going to do something. And stop quote on using this real man's crap because that's crap. Stop it. Real man. Stop it.
Ain't it though? And I'll tell you another thing. Don't be coming over here trying to leave shit either. Don't be coming over here.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
So and I know that was a little off subject, but the thing about it is, ma'am, if you feel like you cannot have a conversation, if you feel any type of way hesitant about asking this guy for some help, how you gonna ask this guy to leave when you tired of him? If you scared to even ask for some money to stay,
that's right.
It's like you put yourself in a bad situation that you can't even ask him to stay and help, or even ask him to leave.
Yeah, she did. She definitely did. That's why I say I blame her because she's not controlling her situation. I mean, she's not controlling her circumference. She's not, and that's her fault. That's her place.
Rosa tripping, yo.
I ain't even looking.
Rosa tripping.
What she said? Put it up there. Put it up there. If you can stay with me, you can marry me. Case closed.
Can stay with me, you can marry me. Case closed.
I guess
those are rules.
Hey, that's our rules.
That's our rules.
That's our rules.
That's right.
I'll meet you in the back porch. Meet you on the back porch.
It's not the same thing, Mike. Well, it's not the same thing. I don't really know what I said though. If I am living with her, I am going to pay them. That's what I said. Stevenson said, that's what I'm saying. Stevenson was talking about if he was living with someone, not them living in two separate homes. But he said, if I'm living with her, I'm going to pay the mortgage regardless. I
hear you, Stevenson. And I'm not, that's you, my brother. We brothers. And we agree to disagree, but I'm not doing that all the time. That's arrangement. That's not a given. That's all I'm saying. That's an arrangement and a conversation. That's not a given for me. That's what I'm saying.
You know what? I realize why Miss Rosa is saying what she's saying because she's a Cowboys fan, and they don't quite think right.
Really?
Yeah, that's
I get it now.
Yeah,
I really?
I get it.
Don't even go there. We're very intelligent, okay?
Not with that team.
But Trisha says he's over there living better than her. She's stressing over bills and he's out shopping backwards.
Oh, her fault.
Wait a minute. For team, read that last word.
Back.
So he's supposed to be stressing and she's supposed to be living her best life. Come on, man. It's a shared responsibility. It's almost like y'all want to get one over on us, man. Come on.
Yeah.
How is that? I mean, that's what Patricia believes, and
Yeah.
that's her thing.
That's her thing.
Yeah.
That's her thing.
But you
But
better
just
not
know
be.
when I
You
start,
better, you better not be having those new sneakers every week and ain't helping me pay the water, light bill, or nothing.
Got
And
me
you
some.
living there?
Got me some new sneakers. Mhm.
I would tell you this: if I'm living here and I got a woman, she living over there, and I'm paying bills over there, it ain't no. I'm gonna tell you, this is Vic. If I'm paying bills at your house and I got my own house, there is no what time you coming over. I'm popping up, and I don't want to hear nothing. I'm popping up. I'm looking around. I'm opening the refrigerator in my underwear. All that shit. Like you. People don't get. People want their independence and be dependent on somebody else. You have to give it. You can't do that. You can't do that.
You can do that.
You need me. You got to listen to what the hell I say. I'm not saying I'm gonna be some old asshole dictator, but hey, Vic, I'm going out with my girls tonight. Ain't no more going out. Who you going out for? You can't afford to go out because you need my money to help you pay your bills. So you sit your ass down somewhere and look in my face all night long. Matter of fact, I'm going out with my homeboys and you need to sit down because I can afford to pay my bills and your bills, but you can't. So sit your butt down somewhere.
Where's I'm waiting for the comments from Michelle and the other young lady on what Victor just said. Yeah, let's see what they got to say.
Sit down. Because you can't afford to be independent, and I got to help you. Ain't no more going out. Sit down.
I can afford it now because you're helping me.
Oh no, you can't. Because no. Sit down. Sit down. Watch TikTok and play Spider Solitaire all night long till I come back home.
Oh, okay. Michael. Okay, Michael says don't pay with a man. I think you want to say don't play with a man pockets and thinking he doesn't have any say so.
Exactly. And we smoking big cigarettes now.
Yeah, cigars. Yeah, that's what we smoking.
We still have say so. We may not have as much say so as we did.
No, it ain't no say so. What I'm saying, two separate households. You can't tell. What you gonna tell
me? We're talking about two separate households. We ain't in the same household.
Yeah, that's what Patricia. That was the scenario she gave. Talking about help me and all that. You should want. Nah, we ain't doing that. I'm gonna tell you in the heartbeat. Park that car. Where you going? Park it.
I'm going out because I just saved $200 because I switched to Geico.
All right. That's $200. But on them two flat tires you got when you come out the club, you'll be coming back home. Play with me if you want to.
I keep telling you, women think they can play, I don't say men should play with women because that's not cool. I'm not condoning that. But I keep saying, I'm not upset tonight, but that term real, it's to me, it's a code word of control. I don't want to say dictators. Control. It's control. It's think you can have control. Like the other sister said, well, you're gonna live with me, you're gonna marry me. But that's her stipulations. That's your stipulations, and that's cool. And I'm not saying that you're not married and men don't put proposals out there. I'm not here to judge you, but I will say that there's a lot of men that is just not gonna just jump right in because they move in with you. They gonna say I do. It's just not gonna happen.
Mike was okay. This is the point what Mike was saying. When I said, if you don't pay your rent, they'll kick you out just as well. So he's saying pay an apartment because not pay rent in an apartment because they're not just going to kick you out over something petty.
So Veronica, let me ask you a question, and this is a serious question.
Uh-oh.
All right, me and you cool, and if I came to you and I said, Veronica, I need 300 because I'm in a bad spot. I want to do this. I need to get my car fixed, whatever. I come to you and I ask you for 300, and you do give me the 300, and that same weekend I'm on the gram posting pictures in the club. You know, I'm with my friends. You find out I went somewhere that weekend. How would you feel if I came to you and I said, well, V, I need some help on bills, but what I really use your money for was to go out with somebody else? How would you feel that way? But then you say, well, Vic, I thought you was going to use your 300 to pay bills. Well, I used your 300 to pay the bills, but I used my money to go out with my homeboys. How would that make you feel?
I feel some type of way, but I definitely that would definitely be a lesson learned, because I know I won't lend you anything else.
Why?
Because you're not using it for what you said you was using it for.
But why would that stop you if I needed help and I used your 300 to pay the bills, but I took my 300 and went out? I mean,
but did you get my 300 back?
No. But why I got to pay you back?
Because you borrowed it from me, right? I thought you asked, could you borrow 300?
I asked for I asked you for 300, or like you said, a stipend or whatever, and I'm going out and doing this all of a sudden.
I'm definitely hoping I'm getting that money back, but because we cool like that, like I wouldn't hesitate in helping you out, but I would be expecting it back.
That's true. So Michelle says, we're not speaking on YouTube, man. Vic, I guess she said 15. We're talking about the female who has no control of her place. She pays for. I'm a 50-50 partner, and if you stay with me, your name will be on the lease. You're going to have a man cave, and you're going to do wife duties for real. Oh, okay.
Well, Michelle's a one. Me and I haven't spoken with her, but on Facebook, and she's in control of herself. She seems to be. I don't know Michelle like that, but what I see is I hate to use the word real because I've been saying, but she's a woman. She's a woman. She knows what she wants, and she's gonna accept what she want to accept, and she's gonna push away what she don't want to push away. And I do respect. I can disagree with Michelle, but I do respect her as an individual. I do. I really do. Because from what I see, she carries herself like a woman, and a woman that knows what she wants.
Shooting your shot?
I ain't shooting a shot. If I want to shoot a shot, I know how to get in touch with Michelle.
Oh.
Okay. But I mean, like I have no problem giving a person, they do.
Or a compliment.
Yeah, because you know me, I'll compliment you if you deserve it. Definitely. Definitely.
Mike.
Don't start me on here. Okay.
I don't know now. Light Bright be looking good in some of them pictures.
Well, she sure do.
Oh, good. Light Bright. Mr. Sammy said, Vic, you didn't need no help.
Well, that's basically what we was getting at, Mr. Sammy, is we was kind of piggybacking off of what Rosa and Patricia was saying, that a man should help whether he lives there or not if they're dating. And it's like, why do I have to help you if you're self-sufficient? So I was saying, if you're so independent, then why are you dependent on me giving you some money just because we together? It's almost like I'm renting you. So if that's the case, then when I want it, I don't want to hear no lip. I don't want to hear, your whatever woman issues, headaches, all that's out the window now, because I'm paying for accessibility now. If you and your homegirls out, I'm going to politely tap you on the shoulder. Let me holler at you outside for about 5 to 10 minutes. I don't want to hear nothing. And if you say, hey, Vic, I ain't got time for this, payments is cut off.
Wow. Right, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl's on now?
Well, she probably missed all the
Cheryl,
nightmares that was going on.
yeah, she would have been in there already.
I-
You know, Cheryl would have.
But real talk, man. The woman, you need, if you, how are you? No matter which way it goes, you scared to, basically you scared to even talk to this man about anything financial.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
scared.
Yeah. And you know what's interesting? You know, just a serious scenario. And this sister didn't mean any harm. She approached, I knew her. She lived two doors down. She was single and I was in a relationship, but she was doing everything independent by herself with her son. And her sister was there, and I was carrying my family because I'm doing what I had to do. And she said, just imagine if we were able to put what we made together, what that could be. Now, I knew, I didn't take it no other way. I knew what she was saying in a sense of her salary, what I made, and putting that together, what you can achieve. And when two people could come together and bring their finances together, bring their love together, and bring all that together, and you on the same page, it works. I understood what she was saying. She was just making a statement about the financial part. She didn't go into no other thing else about anything else, you know. So go ahead, Vic.
How does she know how much money you made?
It's not about, well, I carried everything pretty much at that time. So we lived in a complex. So our rents were pretty much around the same. So
I mean,
I got it. I got it.
I live in a neighborhood and ain't nobody out here know how much money.
Yeah, well, I live in I told you we knew it. Everybody knew each other over there. So she knew my family. I knew her family. So it was not a big thing. I mean, she didn't know what I exactly made, but you know, you put two and two together, you know.
Yeah, we put two.
She's driving a sports car. I'm driving, you know, my kids looking well. I'm dressing at the time. So, you know, you just put two and two together and from that perspective. So that was it. Well, you looking crazy like that. She wasn't shooting a shot.
All I'm saying is, you know, I live out here, and I mean, they don't know how I'm living, but if somebody came to me, we could put our money together and do something. I'm looking at them like, how you know how much money I made? You know, this could have been somebody could have gave me this house. You know, I mean.
I got it, but it wasn't read into nothing else than what she said. I understood what she was saying because she was. What happens is she had an on and off boyfriend who didn't work, and she carried his ass, and she just was tired of that crap. So she was just like, you know, just venting. That's how that kind of came out. She didn't just approach me out the blues. She just, you know, shit didn't happen like that. She had a no good boyfriend. That was her fault. And she know that. She had a no good boyfriend that didn't work and didn't contribute, and she carried everything.
I ain't gonna lie, I put my captain saver who came on a few times, but I don't put that shit on no damn more. I retired that. I'm no longer the captain.
No, it ain't Captain Sabo no more, right?
Yeah. I don't put that cape up.
Patricia said, Vic, you can keep your money. Your money comes with too many stipulations.
But the thing about it is my money. But the thing about it, I mean, people, if I ask you for help, that means if I ask you for help, I have to pretty much listen to you until I pay you that money back. I'm pretty much, you know, it is what it is. You ever let somebody borrow some money, and then after you let them borrow and they say they're gonna pay you back, they miss that day, they don't really look you in your eyes no more, or they don't even want to be around you no more. You know what I'm saying? That's potentially what could have happened. You know what I'm saying? Don't borrow my money and then don't find me, and then your family got a 4th of July cookout, and I show up, you know, with my shorts and I got ashy feet, and I'm over there digging in the pots and shit. I'm supposed to be here too.
So if I ask you, if I come into a bind and I need some cash,
he already answered it. He answered it. He already answered it. He answered it.
I missed that.
He answered it.
You wouldn't loan it to me?
He ain't gonna put his business on us. That's why I said he answered it.
Oh, but I loaned you $300.
And I went to the club.
Exactly.
In the club.
I know you would. I'm not even worried about that. I know.
You put him on the spot.
Sherelle said he need to put those shirts up with the cape.
I put that cape up, the damn inbox would be down.
You know, you don't want to do that, right?
Veronica, please go to someone else besides Vic.
We doing it. We both be in this closet doing the tangy tea together. I need to see my.
You say what?
I need to see my money.
The way you talk, you need to feel your money too.
You gonna work it out?
Yeah, so do I.
Work it off. Yo.
Lord,
well,
I tell you.
Final thoughts to this. Final thoughts to this young lady. I'm pretty sure she's watching.
Baby, have that conversation. Make it, just have that conversation, but be prepared that homeboy may leave, and he may contribute and say, just do it. Just have a conversation and don't attack him. You ain't got to beg him. You ain't got to kiss his backside neither. You ain't got to do that. Just have a conversation. He, is, hey, look, we incur these bills together. And I was holding it down, but I need you to contribute a little bit to make things go, continue things to go smooth. And if you got a problem, then you know what? You know what to do. It's your place.
So
it's your place.
My whole thing is take a real good look at him. This apparently, and it's not apparently, if you living with somebody, you know them. This guy is watching you pay everything and has not offered you not a cent, in your opinion. I mean, the way you put it up, this guy has not offered you anything. And he is watching you each and every day get up, go to work, and pay bills. And if he's checking the mail, he's seeing these bills come in here. Do you really want to ask him for help? This guy sees you paying bills month after damn month. Why are you still with him? There is no way I can live with somebody and watch you go to work and spend your money, and all I'm doing is, and I have the audacity to buy some new shit. Now, there is no way in the hell you need to ask this guy for some help. The only thing you need to ask him to do is when you want me to go to the grocery store and bring you these damn boxes that box your shit up and get the hell out of my house. Like, ma'am, come on.
And I don't want to put this in her head. I know I have my final thoughts, but I'm gonna just say this. I hate to go there, but I'm just thinking that he's getting fly. He's getting fly for his boys, or is he doing his thing too? And to me, and I've seen it before, when you got somebody that you can stay with and mooch off a little bit, because if he was playing that game, he'd be smart. See, that's what I'm saying. Either he's stupid, or you don't know how to play the game. If he was playing the game right, he would contribute and do his thing. But some men feel like, look, I'm staying with her. I'm not contributing whatnot. I'm buying this. I'm going out. I'm hanging out with my friends. I see a cool young lady. I hang out with her, do whatever. And I got a place to lay my head at, and I still can live my life. That's something, sister, you got to look at. I'm not saying that he's doing that, but I'm saying you better open your eyes to everything.
Bro, his time is done. Bro, yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, she should just give him, don't say nothing, then let him go.
He got to go. You know the next thing she need to give him? Go down there, talk to Sheriff Hudson, pay $50, and get a damn eviction notice. Cause ain't no damn you, bro. Come on, this dude is watching you pay bills. He's watching you. He has zero respect for your hustle. He has zero respect for your space. He has zero respect for your house. Whatever. Come on, man. He got to go.
You can
But
find another one.
There's so many women that's living like that though.
Yeah.
They're allowing the men to live with them, and they're not taking care of the household with them. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. I see a lot of that.
I've seen it in my family.
But to you, young lady,
hit me in the inbox.
Huh?
Tell her to hit me in the. I'll pay your cell phone bill.
You know what? But I do feel like Vic and Vatine. But you know, once again, we let our hearts get in the way of a lot of things, a lot of decisions that we make.
Go a little lower.
And that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, sometimes we just have to lose that, you know, that love and cut off that thing below and move on. You know, I mean, I know it'll probably be hard for you. Say 2 years y'all been together or living together. I can't remember. But he's not helping you. And you shouldn't have to be afraid to ask someone who you love and who you think love you and you're living together. You shouldn't be afraid to ask them or talk to them about anything. You guys live together. So for you to be afraid to ask him to help you out with your bills, something's wrong with that. Mm-hmm. So,
you know what I want to say, V? And Fatim, I got a feeling Fatim is going to agree with me. He is out of her league. She got somebody who is probably a good-looking guy who she's probably never dated before, a suave guy. She got somebody who is way out of her league, and she is paying to be with him or to be seen with him.
And I said I had an example of that, and I've seen that before. Not that the fine guy putting it down, and that's extra cream on the cake. You understand? So
that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, that could be it. And
ma'am, you are beautiful no matter what, but put his ugly ass out. He got to go. Him and his ruler.
That's right. Yeah, that ruler. That's right. You got to go.
Ain't no need to be miserable, ma'am. I mean, like someone said earlier, I can do bad all by myself. Like, because right now, I think he's there because of comfort. He's there for the sex, and you love him. I mean, but still, you have to do you. You can't be stressing out over bills, and this dude is living his best life.
He watching the show and told her to cut it off.
In her house, and he ain't paying no bills.
In her house. Well, that's all we got for tonight, folks.
Oh wow.
She can find someone else. There are dudes outside, girl. Okay? And don't move them in.
I'm outside. I'm outside. Yeah. I smell like outside.
Right. Good looking does not buy groceries.
The show.
Oh, I was trying to get you. I'm sorry, V.
You good. It takes money to do those things. But guys, have yourself a great night. We appreciate y'all so much for watching tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate Sheriff James Hudson for coming on tonight. We really, really appreciate him from stopping in on the tea tonight and giving us updates of what's going on in Darlington County and, you know, what to look forward to and how we as a community can help out as well. We as a community need to step up and help and not just put the community in the police officers' hands. So let's do our part as well. But guys, once again, thank you for watching Tainted of Life. Those of you who are new and probably was like, what the heck is going on? They just had the sheriff on. Now they're talking about.
I want to say this before you finish your thing, V. Y'all really gave a really great interview. I don't think that no one else would have asked the Berea questions that y'all gave, because it seemed like y'all gave an assortment of questions that a lot of people wanted to know. And I loved, and V, I ain't saying you didn't ask good questions, but I love the fact that Fatim asked him the positive questions,
Yes.
because everybody likes to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
And we was here to see that the sheriff came into that department and he has done some positive things. And the great thing that I heard, and it's kind of negative, is that he only has one unsolved case and he's working on it now. So
Right.
even though I live in Florence, I salute him. I wish, anything that I can do from Effingham, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is.
Appreciate that, Vic.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Victor.
that. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Yes. See, Fatin is definitely the man when it comes to that, because on Fatin's show in New York, WBLS, they surround themselves more with that kind of topic, with the political sides of things, and speaking with the mayor and things like that. So I salute you. Even though I'm on the radio, we don't have that type of, or you know what I'm saying, we don't have that type of talk show, I should say. I just get on there and talk about the music, what's coming up next, what's going on in our community, blah, 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 blah. But you, Fatin, you are there in the spotlight where y'all actually interview people, and you have all kind different types of people that comes through the doors of the radio station. Y'all bigger market, but you're doing your thing, and I definitely salute you. And I was glad to have you on tonight so that you can definitely help me out with the questions.
I appreciate that. Well, we're a team, and thank you for that. But we're a team, and you learn from your team, and just be honest with you. The conversation we had the other night offline, it also helps, because I did my research tonight, but I didn't plan questions. I just wanted to know more about him, and I always remember that when you're talking to law enforcement, everything is just not crime and guns and thievery, and I want to balance it, but I also kind of wanted to feed off of you, and I want to feed off of him. So if you notice, I fed off of things that he said or you said, but I appreciate those comments. But you learn from my team, and we are a team, and that's how we work together. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate both you, Fatin, and Victor, of course. Thank you.
So wish you would ask him when he gonna have them DUI checkpoints. We need to know that. Sheriff.
Somebody who did that. Did you write that? Because I saw that in the comment.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, Sheriff, hit my inbox the next time you throw a DUI checkpoint, and where it's gonna be at and how you get around them. Appreciate that.
I'll find out for you. I'll text him and ask.
I know they got one tonight, but they probably gonna have one tomorrow.
Yeah, I think Ms. Rosa had put something out there about they had one tonight. But we appreciate you, viewers, watchers, our friends and family. Thank y'all so much for watching and leaving y'all comments each and every week. We appreciate you guys so much. We'll be back Tuesday, God willing, with another show. Gonna be sipping on some more tea. If you would like to be a guest, if you have topic suggestions, please hit us up, tangyteaoflife@gmail.com, or you can leave it right here on our Tangy Tea page. Please, please, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yes.
Channel.
Say it 3 times.
Channel.
There you go. Just open your mouth. Open your mouth. Don't say it with your teeth closed.
I have difficulties with that word.
Because you don't open your mouth. You just open your mouth.
Channel.
There you go. That's all you got to do.
But thank you guys so much. We appreciate you all. And if you're not following us here on our page, please do so here on Facebook as well, and share our videos and let everyone know about Tangy Tea, because we are real. We keep it real here all the time. We talk about everything. All right. Nothing is off limits. Well, some things, but
nothing.
But guys, have a
great in the comment section.
Huh?
I tell them speak their mind in the comment section.
Oh, most definitely. And they do that. Thank y'all so much. Thank you. Y'all have a great weekend. Be safe out there.
Buenas noches.
Wrap it up.
2 times.
Good night, guys.
Wear your mask. Psych.
Wear your mask.